Good morning, guys. Oh, I see that there's plenty more early risers than there are night owls compared to last week. How come you guys get up so early on a Sunday? I gotta get up early. You know, I gotta do the show. What's your excuse? I'm just kidding, guys. I'm glad to see you guys are here. Thank you for joining. I appreciate you guys getting up so early on a Sunday if you don't have to. It's really nice of you. So I can't believe we're already in October, guys. What the heck is going on? Where is the time going? I can't believe it. I love October, and today's a beautiful day here. I can't believe it. It's like, I think we're still gonna hit, believe it or not, great temperatures. I think it's gonna go up to 24 today as a high. 27, that's Celsius, guys, not Fahrenheit. 27 on Tuesday and Wednesday, and I think it's gonna be a fantastic week. So take advantage. Today I went outside and I had my coffee and my bagel, my breakfast. And I looked up and there was not one cloud in the sky, a beautiful, beautiful, clear blue sky. So we're starting off October really well. So take advantage, guys. Be grateful that we're able to take advantage of these glorious days. For me, October is a really good month because it's my birthday month. I'm a Libra, so my birthday is this month. My daughter, my son, my late dad would have also celebrated his birthday on the 8th coming up. So usually October is like party, 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 party. Not to mention there's Thanksgiving thrown in there and everything else. So I'm going to take advantage and try and enjoy and squeeze out every little fun day out of October until it starts getting cold, which won't be long. So good morning to everybody. I hope you guys are all doing well. I see that there's 29 people here already. Can't believe that. Really great to see you guys. I'm happy to be doing the Sunday show. The Sunday morning show. Last week we did the evening show, which was fun, but less people. Some people claimed that they didn't get the notification. So I don't know if that was the case for most of you guys, but I'll try and send out the notification earlier. I don't know why YouTube doesn't really, they don't go out quick, the notification. Even if I send them the night ahead, the night before, for whatever reason, they don't seem to get out there. So anyways, if you guys are new to the channel, welcome. We always welcome newcomers. You do have to be subscribed to chat, guys, so please subscribe if you're not already subscribed to the channel. And if you're watching the reruns, just know, if you're watching this rerun tomorrow, just know that YouTube also takes a long time to process the video so that you're able to see the chats. The whole point of the live shows is really to be able to hear the chats going back and forth, and that takes a long time. I don't know if it's because my live shows are really long and it just takes more time for the stuff to get processed, but it seems like it takes at least a day. So if you see this video tomorrow, if you didn't catch it or you didn't participate and you're watching it later, just know that the live chat transcriptions will come. Just check back and you'll see those, because I find those extremely useful. A lot of people do share some really good information. So let's take a moment to say good morning to people. A lot of people already here. I already have 18 thumbs up. I appreciate that. Please hit the smash the like button if you haven't already done so, and if it's close by, I would appreciate that. And we'll work our way backwards and say hi to everybody that's here. So Presley's here. Good morning, Presley. Presley also has a show going on. I don't know if it's happening after this show, or I'm not sure what the timing is, but Presley is also part of a show that he does. So if you want to catch that, Guitar Safari, Seems pretty interesting, and you have some great information on that as well. So put that on your agenda. Alex2112 is here. Alex says, "Is that Gibson? Is that a Gibson Tony's holding?" Actually, no. You can't see the headstock, right? No, this is not a Gibson. I got this instead of a Gibson because I really wanted a Gibson 345. Couldn't afford it. I ended up getting the Eastman instead. Really nice Eastman guitar. This is a they call it the T486 Sunburst SB, and parallelogram inlays, beautiful fretboard. And I just pulled this out of the case. You see the case right there, because I haven't played it in a while. And I just wanted to check the action, and it's, believe it or not, it's not perfectly in tune, but hey, man, pretty good for a guitar that's been in the case now for maybe a couple of weeks. So I'm pretty happy with that. The action on this guitar is so low, guys. I can't even make you understand how low it is. It's like at this stage, let me just see something here. Oh man, at the 12th fret, honestly, I think it's about I have a clearance of about half the thickness of a sheet of paper. That's how low the action is, and I'm not getting any buzzing on this guitar. I love it. I don't know why I don't play it more often, but it's definitely going to get more play. So who else is here? Cushman is here. Steven is here. Hey, Steven, how are you, man? Hope you're doing well. Shane, he's here as well. Gene, Alex, John Z, D351. And he says that daylight saving started in Melbourne. So it's now 1:30 a.m. Wow, that's late, man. Thank you for tuning in. All right. Yeah, Cushman guessed the Eastman. Jamie's here. Hey, Jamie. Nice to see you, buddy. I think Jamie's new. I'm not familiar with Jamie, but thank you for joining us today. Hopefully you'll get something interesting out of the show. Shane says, loving these guitar build series. Thanks, Shane. I appreciate that, man. For those that don't know, I'm putting together a Telecaster, and the last video that I put out there was a video on the wiring process, just wiring up a Telecaster. And I have to say that I don't think a lot of people are necessarily into that, because didn't get that many hits on that video. But it's the type of thing where I share it out anyways, because I feel over time people might need it as a reference. And although it doesn't go viral or anything like that, because you got to be pretty geeky about guitars to be interested in watching a video, watching somebody wire up a video, not the most exciting thing. But I was doing it anyways, and I figured I'd share it out with you guys and share some of the tips. And hopefully you guys will take the time to watch that video eventually. I'll share the link with you guys if you're ever interested in checking that out. The cool thing about wiring up your own guitars is that you realize how tricky it is at times, because I actually was using a brand new three-way switch on that build, and unfortunately the wiring diagram that I got off of Amazon, because I bought the three-way switch on Amazon because I wanted it quickly, was wrong. And so what ended up happening is I followed that diagram, and I just put the link down below. I followed that diagram and it was wrong. So after I wired everything up, I do check everything before I do anything. I always, do the tap test. I plug in the guitar through a little amplifier, and I tap the pickups, going through all the positions and checking out the volume and the tone, making sure everything works and there's no weird noises. I wasn't getting any sound. So I had to go on the internet, do a search for that particular three-way switch, and find the correct wiring diagram, which then I proceeded to fix, and everything was working fine. And spoiler, the guitar is actually behind me. It's actually there. Can you see it? But I'm not showing it to you yet, because I want to do a reveal video. And actually the next video I'm going to be doing in that series, if you guys are following along, is going to be a setup. And the setup, I think, is pretty cool. Probably more useful for most people than a wiring video, because maybe most of you guys don't do wiring on your own guitars, but a setup is very important. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm actually going to be taking the measurements off another guitar that I feel is set up really, really nicely, that I like, and I'm going to be mimicking those measurements on the new guitar, and hopefully I can get that guitar to play just as good as the other one. So that's it. That's what's coming up on the video side of things. Let me continue saying good morning here. Good morning, DL. Good morning, Marcel. Marcel, I still have to send out your sticker. I didn't forget about you, dude. It's just that I didn't get an opportunity. I ran out of stamps. I hate when that happens. And now I have to go to the post office to mail the stuff. So I'm going to run off to the post office maybe later today, if I can make it. Actually, today's Sunday. It's probably closed. Anyways, I'll get them out to you. Don't worry. It's on its way. The reason I mentioned that is because I do send out these Addicted to Gear stickers. If anybody does a super chat, just as a thank you, I send them out for free. Just give me your information, and I'll send you a few in the mail. So Marcel was good enough to do that last time, and I have to get his out. So it's on its way, Marcel. Nice to see you here, buddy. All right, let's jump into the questions right away so we don't waste any time. Mississippi Blue says, Tony, the Telecaster project looks good. I'm just about to start a Strat project. I bought a black relic body and aged hardware from Guitar Fetish. Very cool. That's where I got my body too. I didn't buy the relic hardware. Let me know how you like it, if it's overdone or not. Relicking hardware, sometimes when you buy it off the shelf like that, is sometimes overdone. I like to do it myself because I feel like you can go very, very subtle if you want to do it, you know, and not make it look overdone, like it was pulled out from a fire somewhere, you know. Shane had a question also. Shane asked, ever owned an FGN, Tony? They won 2 of Anderton's blindfold challenges. I don't own one. I've been trying to get one to review. They look pretty nice. They look like really nice guitars, and I'm not surprised that they won the Anderton's blindfold tests. If indeed they weren't, if indeed they were really blindfold tests. Hopefully Anderton's doesn't have any shares or stakes in FGN, because we all remember what happened there. But maybe I'll get one, and if I can, I'll definitely try and review it on the channel. Presley says, yeah, that Candy Apple Red Telecaster is amazing. It's going to be super nice. I hope so, man. So far, again, I don't want to spoil it. So far, I'm pretty satisfied with the way it's coming out. And after I do the setup on it, that's the critical aspect of the build that's left. And after that, it's just going to be rocking the guitar. So I'm going to do the setup. I'll show you guys how I set up that particular guitar. And then I'll do a video playing the guitar, reviewing that guitar, and actually showcasing the Mr. Glenn's pickups that are in that guitar as well, because there's some nice pickups in there that I want to showcase for you guys. Music and Gear says, YouTube is picky. Hits on videos all depends on how the AI system sees the first 20 minutes to 1 hour and then drops you after 24 hours. Absolutely true. As a matter of fact, it's getting very challenging to do anything of substance if you're a guitar review channel, because I noticed that at the end of a lot of videos, you get a few hits, a few views, and then, as was mentioned, you get dropped. And it's funny because I follow a lot of YouTubers that do guitar reviews, and they're not even popping up in my feed, even though I'm subscribed to their channel. Like, I gotta go out and look for them now, which is very concerning, because it means that unless you have a following, if you're starting a new channel or something like that, it's gonna be very difficult. Uphill battle to be able to get people to subscribe to your channel and get the views, unfortunately. So I hope it's not a trend, but it seems like YouTube is going the route of Instagram, with these little short videos popping up that really don't have much substance. They're just eye grabbers, where they just eat up your time and don't actually give you any information that's useful, which I don't really like, but what are you going to do, right? Marcel says, Tony, what would be the result of putting 10 to 53 nickel acoustic strings on an electric guitar? Good question. Well, I don't think you really want to do that. I mean, if they're nickel, they would still probably work, but I don't know if the core of the strings is any different on an acoustic guitar. It may be. You could try it and just do a test and report back and see how it works. I mean, the nickel will work. If it was bronze, I would say no, but nickel should work. I don't see a big problem there. I mean, are you stuck? You don't have any electric guitar strings? You want to use up your acoustic guitar strings first? 12 to 53, Marcel, is pretty thick. You may have an issue with the nut on your electric guitar if you actually put those strings on, because 12s, they might not fit properly in the nut slots. Because I don't think, unless you were running 12s on your electric guitar, generally people usually run 9s or 10s. So 12s are pretty different. Yeah, if it's 12s and your nut slot is not cut for 12s, I would avoid it, because you're just going to have tuning problems and other things. The strings won't sit properly in the nut. Mississippi Blues wants to know if I did any videos on relicking. No, I did not. I did not. Did I actually do any relicking on any of my guitars? I don't think so. I mean, the only relicking I did was on my EVH build, the Frankenstrat. So if you go back to those videos, you might be able to see what I did there. But that was a little bit more aggressive than relicking, I think. So I don't think it would really apply. Maybe one day I'll do that. I'll do a relicking video. The lighting here is very harsh. Let me just do something here. One sec. All right. Yeah, it was making me look totally washed out. I'm pale enough as it is. I don't need more paleness happening here. There's a poll question out. If you guys didn't already see it, I put a poll question in the community section yesterday. The poll question says asks if you were not already a guitarist, what other instrument would you play? And the selections or choices would be bass, drums, keyboards, vocals, or saxophone. And we'll get to the answer and the results of that poll towards the end of the show. There's a specific reason why I'm asking that question today, and I'll explain why. In the meantime, I wanted to ask if anybody did any shopping this week, over the last week or so. I know that Amazon is announcing some kind of October blitz, so I don't know if you have anything that you're eyeing on Amazon in terms of gear. They don't have too much in terms of stuff that I would actually buy off Amazon, at least not in Canada. Canada sells less electronics on Amazon. You can get less choice. They used to have a lot less, but they're catching up. But I don't know if there's anything interesting that you would buy on Amazon. I might buy some tools that I use for my guitar setups and stuff like that. I've been eyeballing a set of, this is how geeky I am. I've been eyeballing a set of good quality nut files. Because the good ones are really expensive. You're looking at over $150 for a set, and that's not a complete set. That's just like, certain gauges. But it's a type of thing that you buy once and you keep forever. And I do enough work on my guitars that it would be worthwhile having. So I might end up buying, maybe I'll buy that, or maybe I'll ask for that for my birthday. A birthday gift. I'll ask the wife, see what she says. She's probably going to say, is that really what you want? And then end up buying me clothes or something, which also comes in handy. I can't complain. So some of you did some shopping. Yeah, so D-Mac is relicking his coffee table by banging into it. That's cool. Um, Shane says relicking is evil. Shane, you have to wrap your head around something like that. It's not for everyone, man. And I know exactly how you feel. I would never want to relic a really nice guitar, like brand new that I purchased. I usually baby the guitars that I buy, but if you're out to build a guitar and you want to do the relic thing on it, it's pretty cool. Paul says he's got a pedal of the week tip. So I'll share that with you guys. JV transmission preamp. And the Hudson Broadcast preamp clone, $95 USD, a third the price, 10 out of 10 in parts and build, best truly transparent sound for strats. Chime never gets buried. So thank you for that, Paul. I always appreciate your pedal of the week tip. Paul is our regular encyclopedia dude for pedals. He usually likes to share some of the information, which I think could come in very handy for some of you guys. So that's really cool. Yeah, D-Mac says I relic my own by banging them into coffee tables lately. So he's using his coffee table as a relicking tool, which probably will work just fine. I'm sure the custom shop boys probably do the same kind of thing. Marcel says, no, I ordered electric 9 to 42, a 5-pack twice, but received the acoustic 12 to 53 5-pack twice. Did not order strings from Wish, or do not order strings from Wish. I never order strings from Wish. I usually order them off of Amazon, and I usually get these 4-packs like this. These are Ernie Ball super slinky. These are 9 to 42s. That's what I usually get. So Music and Gear says, I ordered a Blackstar Silver Line Deluxe 1x12 on sale for $3.99. Will be my beater amp. Very cool, dude. I'm glad to see Blackstar is getting a little bit of love. Some people don't like Blackstar for whatever reasons, but I think they're pretty cool. And Shane says he saw an electric mandolin from the 80s that was actually made by Stumac. An electric mandolin. That could be an interesting sound to introduce to a band. Do you think that would work for the Cult cover that you guys were doing? Imagine trying to play She Sells Sanctuary on an electric mandolin. Could be cool. MFN says, hi Tony, I'm finally buying a pedal board. Recommendations for a board and power that will fit under? I have 6 to 8 pedals max, thank you. Yeah, you can get, I mean, it depends on how much you want to spend, but there are some pretty cool pedal boards with a power supply that are not super expensive. One that comes to mind is the Van Gogh one that I reviewed on my video, in one of my videos, which is a small pedal board like this. It has it's powered and it lights up and everything. You can probably get it under. You can probably get it for $100 on the used market or so. That's a pretty decent place to start if you don't want to spend too much money. Because if you go with something like you know, a full-fledged pedal board like a pedal train or a Holy board or something along those lines, those are pretty expensive just for the pedal board alone. Then you still have to add a power supply, but you probably will be able to get a better power supply if you choose independently. Decibel 11 makes really good power supplies if you want to go like get something that's going to last. I have a Decibel 11 on my board and I've had it for years. It's never failed me, never had any issues, works like a charm. The ones that are, you know, a combo situation that you can get from China, the power supplies are not great. They don't have that much power on reserve, so they end up eventually dying out if you add too many pedals, like they start doing funny things. So I like to say buy once, buy good, instead of having to buy a few times. You know what I mean? Jumping around here on the questions. Billy Bear says, I bought a Rowan LTL03 metal guitar, effects pedal, full metal case for $37.99 plus shipping. It came out to $40 and change is pretty okay. Those Roland pedals, I mean, I said Rowan pedals are interesting. They have quite a few different things that you can opt for, and they're usually pretty inexpensive. I haven't reviewed that many, or actually I haven't reviewed any of them yet, so I don't know how good they are long term. But I guess if you want to grab something for cheap, $40 is not too bad. You can't get anything for $40 these days. DMAX says Amazon is like Costco, some great deals, but also some inflated prices, buyer beware. That's absolutely true. Certain things are like cheaper to buy in the store. Certain things. You got to wait for the deals. Got to be a frugal shopper. And DMAX says Long and McQuaid has Rocktober with 0% interest on a bunch of brands. Yeah, that's the time to buy if you don't want to buy outright and you want to maybe make some payments and pick up a guitar or an amp or something like that, and pay it in installments. 0% interest, that's the way to do it. Pay, enjoy it now, pay later. I don't have my eye on anything from Long and McQuaid, so I don't think I'm going to be taking advantage of that this season. But you never know. You never know. Mississippi Blue says that he has the same Eastman that I'm holding. Great guitar. You going to give us some tones? What are you running it through? Well, I don't have it plugged in today. I usually have it going through my Fractal FM9, which usually sits here. But I was actually going through my amps yesterday and just playing around with my pedals and going through some sound scenarios. So I didn't have it plugged in. And I don't have this guitar plugged in, unfortunately. But you can see the video review on this guitar, and there are some tones on the guitar, and it does sound pretty sweet. So if you want to check out the sounds on that, just go into my my video archive. Has over 600 videos, and most of the stuff that I own has been reviewed at one stage in the game or another. Did you guys hear about poor Aldi Meola? He actually suffered, I guess, a heart attack is what I heard, on stage, no less. He was playing a show, and apparently the news report said that I guess he clutched his chest, and he left the stage and he didn't come back. And later they were saying that he had a heart attack. He didn't die, thankfully. He survived that. He's probably getting treatment somewhere. But he had, I think he had made an announcement on his social media channel at one point. And I hope he's doing well. I did post well wishes for him. Hopefully the message gets out to him. I don't know if he probably doesn't watch my channel, but maybe somebody that he knows that does could pass on the message. But his message said, I want to take a moment to express my deepest gratitude for the incredible outpouring of love and support that I've received during the last 24 hours. Unfortunately, I'm facing a medical situation that requires some time off from performing and touring. I want to assure you that I'm receiving the best care possible, and I'm fully committed to making a complete recovery. Music has always been the source of healing and strength for me, and I can't wait to get back on stage, sharing my music with you all. The energy and connection I feel when performing are truly special, and I always feel that I can say things throughout the years with my music more than words can express. So I'm planning to return in 2024. So it sounds like he's taking the rest of the 2023 year off. He says, and I'm ready. I'm already looking forward to making music together once again. Your unwavering support means the world to me, and it's a driving force in my journey towards recovery. Please stay tuned for updates, and I promise to keep you posted on my progress. In the meantime, keep the music alive, and I'll see you soon. So hopefully he's gonna do just fine. It's pretty scary to go through something like that when you have a medical emergency as serious as heart situations, heart problems. But I guess you can say that he's lucky, because it could have been way worse. And today, with the medical teams that they have and the advances in treatment, you can do pretty well after suffering something like that. But it's still scary, man. You never know. You never know when something's gonna kick you in the nuts. So hopefully he does better. Green Rumor says, hello, Tony. Good morning, all from camping in Walawa. I don't know where that is, man. But just watch out for the bears. Let's see. Shane says Gibson is nowhere near the quality brand Rolex is. Are we comparing Rolexes and guitars now? Music and Gear says Gibson is the Rolex and Epiphone is the fake Gibson. That's how I see the world in guitar terms. I guess he means. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I understand if you're talking about brands. Obviously, Gibson is the brand, the main brand. Epiphone is a secondary brand. I can see why you would say something like that. That doesn't necessarily mean that the Epiphones are by any means bad guitars. It all depends on how much you want to spend. But I get you, man. I get you. That's true, DMAC. Aerosmith has also postponed their tour. Apparently, Steven Tyler's having issues with his vocal cords, and he's also having women problems. I wonder if the two are related. We'll see what happens there for sure. But the cool thing is, I don't know if you guys have seen what's going on in Vegas, but U2 has performed their first show in that giant sphere, that huge ball that they've created, which is amazing. I started to see some videos on YouTube yesterday, actually. They started to trickle out. Some people are posting the videos of the concert, and it's mind-blowing. Not only is the sound pretty cool, but the visuals is really crazy. You have almost a 360-degree screen, which would probably make me dizzy, depending on what kind of graphics are being projected, especially moving graphics. I wonder if people that suffer from epilepsy have to not go to these shows now, because with the lighting and the effects and everything, it could be pretty serious. But I totally understand why the tickets start at $800. And we're talking the nosebleed section. But apparently, I was reading up on this sphere, and the technology behind it is mind-boggling. This is the biggest ball-shaped structure in the world right now. And apparently there's, I don't know how many thousands of small speakers throughout this sphere, which means that the sound quality is going to be better than anything we've ever heard before, to the point where they can actually direct sound to certain sections of the audience. And you can, for example, be listening to a song in English on one side and have it translated, and hear a different version on the other side, because they can point and direct the sound that targeted, that specifically, which is pretty cool, mind-blowing. So next time I'm in Vegas, I will for sure try and at least see the outside of the ball. Maybe go see a show inside, depending on what's playing there. Pretty nuts. Only in Vegas can they do stuff like that. I wonder how much money that thing's going to bring in, but it's apparently not only built for concerts, right? It's built for concerts, shows. They're probably going to be maybe even be able to play movies on that thing. I wouldn't be surprised if they wanted to. But I'm just wondering how much energy is consumed by this entire structure on a daily basis with all those lights and stuff. It must be crazy, you know? I like to see the power bill at the end of the year. David says, if you're having women problems, don't drink, play guitar. Only took me 50 years to figure that one out. That's good advice, Davis. Good advice. And DL says, new guitar versus U2 for 800. Yeah, that's one way of looking at it. One U2 ticket, and who goes to see U2 alone, right? You need at least two. That's $1,600, and that's for the nosebleeds. I could only imagine what it would cost to be on stage level. When I was looking at the videos, when I was watching the videos on YouTube, they looked like little ants on that stage, from where most of the people were shooting the video. But I guess it's just part of the experience. Alex says some of these bands gotta lower their ticket prices. This is just crazy. Not just rich people like good music, poor people do as well. I know, dude. I know. I don't know if that's gonna happen. I think Taylor Swift started that trend, along with Celine Dion and all these big names where you have to pay a fortune to go see them. Boop. I don't know, man. So I didn't, I can't afford to go see these uber expensive concerts. So yesterday I went and watched a movie. I went and watched The Equalizer with my man Denzel Washington. Have you guys seen the movie yet? This is the first in the series that I watched. I didn't realize it was, that there was two other ones. I'm not a huge fan of the Equalizer series, but my wife wanted to go watch it, and I said, "What the hell?" So I went to watch it. It was pretty cool. Wasn't bad, and it was very predictable. But I like Denzel Washington. The fact that it was, it was shot in Italy and Sicily and Naples and stuff like that was pretty cool to see. And it's funny how Italians in these movies, the bad Italians are always mobsters. As if there's no other criminals in Italy that are not mobsters. We're getting a bad rap. I mean, not all Italians are mobsters, Like, okay, only 80%. I would say 80% are mobsters. The rest are not. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, guys. It's a joke. Gene says he saw Led Zeppelin for $6.50 in 1969. Dude, I was born in 1969, Let's not get into that conversation. We're all going to sound like old people here, and we're not. I remember taking the bus when I was a kid for 10 cents, 10 cents, a dime. Ding, ling, ling, ling. You put it in the little thing, 1 dime. Now you have to pay with a credit card. Let's not go there. Let's not talk about that stuff. It's depressing. Let's talk about other things. I did purchase, I mentioned last week, I think, that I did purchase a Line 6 power cab. As you guys know, I usually use my my Fractal for playing with the band, because we do cover a lot of ground in terms of musical styles, and it comes in handy. And I was using my my Headrush small powered speaker. Then lately it's been sort of having trouble keeping up, so I ended up getting a good deal on a used Line 6 power cab, and I'm pretty happy with it, I gotta say. I think I made the right choice. It seems pretty solid, and it's been working really well. I think I could project the sound better during the live shows. It's an old product. It's not relatively new. It's been out for a few years. I know they have the Power Cab Plus now, which is a little bit more expensive, but this one works well. It's got a 12-inch speaker in it, as opposed to the other cab that I was using that only had an 8-inch speaker, and it seems to have plenty of power. So what I've been doing now is I've been plugging in both the Power Cab and the Headrush, and going through my line, through my Fractal in stereo, in this room, and it's mind-blowing how good the sound is when you're running it in stereo like that. All the effects, the reverbs are so much more lush. All the ping pong delays are really cool. All the modulation effects, totally a different thing, man. And if you can get those quadraphonics, almost like a quadraphonic sound simulation in the small room, which is pretty nuts. So I think that's the way it's meant to be heard. When you have a stereo rig, you got to run it in stereo if you can. I'm really enjoying it. Gene says he saw the Yardbirds for $4. Marcel saw Supertramp for free at Jerry Park. First time they came with Breakfast in America. Very cool. Shane said he saw Robert Plant solo. Steven says he saw Yes for $5. Alex says he saw Kiss for 15. Very cool. And Shane says, I think my Pink Floyd tickets were $150. Not a bad deal for Pink Floyd. Yeah, those days are long gone, guys. Unfortunately. Vox says he saw AC/DC for $450. Wow, man. When you could buy the entire catalog, and here I am talking about catalogs. Who buys catalogs anymore, right? Because everything's streaming. But, back in the day, that's how I would gauge whether or not, I should go see the concert or just save my money and go out and buy the records, or the CDs, was how much they would cost. Like if you can spend less money if you just go out and buy the entire catalog of the artist that you want to go see, is it really worth going and see the artist? But of course, a lot of people would say it's the experience, so you would spend the money anyways. You know what I mean? If you're a big Pink Floyd fan, yeah, you can listen to the records all day long, but there's nothing like seeing the band, right? So I get that. We got to save our dough, man. We got to save our money. I wanted to show you guys something cool. I posted on my Instagram the other day. I don't know if you guys follow my Instagram, but I always post interesting things there from time to time. I came across this image. Can you see that? I hope you can make it out. This is a really cool image because you can see Eddie in the studio. This is a very early studio shot, probably when they were recording Van Halen 1. And if you look very carefully in this image, you can see all of the details of what he was using. So a lot of people that claim to be hunting for that brown sound, that Eddie Van Halen brown sound, well, here you go. You have a breakdown of everything that's in this room right now, and it's pretty cool when you look at it. If you start from the bottom here, you have his 1967. 1968 Marshall 100-watt plexi, and you can see that there's a laydown transformer right there. Then of course they have the 6 CA7 power tubes there. You have the Sir FM57 mic on the speaker here. Then you have another guitar, which is most likely a boogie body in ash. He already is playing his early version of his Frankenstrat here. Boogie body neck with the big headstock. And that went through a few different transition over the years. It's cool that he has the Strat style body with the Dan Electro neck on it. People were saying, where's the Variac? Right here. So that's the Variac to step down the power going to the amp. You have another Dan Electro U1 guitar here. On the floor, there's an MXR flanger that you can barely see, but it's there. I used to have one of those back in the day too. I sold it like an idiot. Then over here we have the 1970 Marshall 4x12 cabinets. We don't really know what the speakers are in here. And then we have the Univox AC80 tape echo. that is a big part of the sound. And then we also have the bomb here. There's a there's a bomb. It's a World War II. I don't know where they got this from, but they had this bomb that they had in the studio. And there between his legs, you see the Ibanez Destroyer with the stripes on it. You see the Ludwig drum set there. Very cool picture, I would say. It's very detailed in terms of all the gear that he was using as far as we know. Of course, even with all that gear, you're missing one key element, and that is the fingers. Without the fingers, you're not going to get the sound anyways, right? But it's pretty cool. I love that kind of stuff. It's like a time machine, you know, just going back in time to see what the heck they were using and running in those days. I miss Eddie. I miss him, man. Doesn't have Tony's Frankie. Frankie wasn't created yet in that picture. That black and white guitar eventually became the black, white, and red Frankie. Part of history, man. I wanted to ask you guys a question because I saw something yesterday which kind of blew my mind. Somebody mentioned that they use muck-off spray. Do you guys know what muck-off is? It's a... here, I'm going to see if I can find it. It's a cleaner for bicycles. It's called muck-off. And somebody was telling me they use this stuff to clean their guitars. I don't get it. I've never heard of that before. Apparently, they use it on all kinds of guitars, even guitars with lacquer. And I don't know, man. I'd be a little bit hesitant to try that. So if any of you have tried it and haven't messed up your guitars doing that, let me know. Because this is a new one for me. It's a new one for the books. I've never heard of that before. Peter wants to know if anybody has opinions on Yamaha SG guitars. So when you say Yamaha SG, is that because you own one or you're thinking of getting one? Those guitars, I know what you're talking about. I believe you're referring, when you say the SG guitars, the ones that look like an SG or have an SG body shape to them. So the SG 1820s, I think there's also the SG 2000s. All I can say, I haven't owned one, but one of my cousins had one, an early one. And I believe he got it in the 70s. So he got like the original ones, not the reissues that they have now. I've played that guitar, and it weighs a ton. It's a very cool guitar. Like, I'm gonna say it tries to do the Les Paul thing quite a bit, but it definitely has a different feel to it than a Les Paul. It has its own thing going. But some of those early guitars, if you can get the early ones, are really cool guitars. Like, they actually play really well. They're built really well. And they're fetching a lot of money right now. I don't see that many for sale on the used market. A lot of people, you know, the funny thing about Yamaha instruments is that they make good stuff. Like, I don't know that many people that buy Yamaha instruments and regret it. But they don't have the same mojo that people want from brands like Fender and Gibson, right? It's just that kind of thing. So if you're looking for good quality instruments, I think Yamaha makes good stuff. But again, it's not as cool, I'm gonna say, as owning a Gibson or a Fender, you know, something like that. That's the only disadvantage with the Yamaha brand. Yes, indeed, Peter. Santana used to play one in the 70s. Absolutely. You're right. Yep, I remember. He switched between that. He also played the SG for a while and stuff. Yeah, I remember. Alex says, get a Gibson, don't waste your money on Yamaha, you'll thank me for it later. Alex, why do you say that, buddy? Is it for resale value, or what? You've had bad experiences with Yamaha guitars? Let us know where you're coming from. So, have you guys been also keeping track of the latest gear that's been trickling out on YouTube? There's one specific item that everybody seems to be talking about now, and that is the new Friedman amp in a box. Have you seen that? A lot of people have it now. A lot of people are talking about it, starting to review it. It's just a little, I want to find the link to it. It's just a little unit that basically has, I guess, the brown eye circuit in it. It's like having two amps in a box with a few switches to get different sounds. And I know quite a few people are reviewing that. Let me just see if I can... The interesting thing about this is that you could load your own IRs on it, so that you have the ability to carry this little unit. It's called the IRX, I believe, and it's a little pedal. Here, I'll actually share my screen so you can see it while I'm looking at it myself. Here, give me 1 sec. Let me just see if I can do that without messing things up. There we go. Can you see that? This is what I'm talking about, the Friedman IRX. It's basically a little box that has two channels and 3 switches on it with a boost. So you have, it's basically an all-tube preamp with IR technology, compact size, $500. And it also has a software editor that you can use. So Friedman he has some videos out there as well. And he has the 2 different independent channels, British voice cleans. So he has a Friedman signature high gain voice, and you can switch from bright to tight, and you can switch in the cab IR if you want, and you can adjust the boost and the gain. It reminds me a lot of the Tonex pedal, especially the back view of it. I wouldn't be surprised if it's made by the same company, because you know, lo and behold, if I look at this picture and I look at my Tonex, let me just take a look at something here. It's almost identical. Let me show you something, guys. I think I know who makes this. Here, look. So see how this back panel looks? Now watch this. Very similar, isn't it? If you look at it from left to right, so the power's in the same place. The USB is in the same place. It has 1 MIDI instead of 2, and then these switches are in exactly the same place and look exactly the same. And even the box itself is made exactly the same with the curve and the thickness and everything. So I'm thinking, you know, that this unit could be made by the same people. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It just so happens that there's 6. Here, let me just show you this again. This is too funny. I just realized this actually. So here we have 6 knobs along the top here, right? 6 knobs here. 3 switches, right? And if we look at this one, we have 6 knobs, 3 switches. They just would have to put another 6 knobs up here. And yeah, I'm gonna say it's very similar. Very similar. I could be wrong. Don't. Sorry, I just dropped my microphone here. Don't quote me on that, guys, but I don't know. Seems like I'm pretty sure Dave wouldn't necessarily have the ability to make this kind of stuff in big quantities alone. So he might be using someone else, and maybe he's working with someone else. I heard a few samples on the Friedman thing, and I think it could sound good. It's hard to tell sometimes because the way it's recorded in some of the videos sometimes makes it sound harsh. Hard to tell. You got to really try it on your own. But the price seems to be okay. If somebody's looking at a unit like that because they don't want to carry extra gear and maybe have it as a backup, that could be a good option. Are we still talking about the Gibson Yamaha thing? Shane says Peter England at Alamo Guitar Channel did a shootout between a Gibson SG and a Revstar. The Yamaha Revstar was deemed the better guitar. Cool. I mean, I'm not going to argue what people like. I think that a lot of people definitely like the Revstar. I don't have a Revstar to compare it with my SG, but I do like my SG quite a bit. So if the Revstar is even better than the SG, maybe I'll have to check it out. Ben says, Peter, I just put a deposit on a used Yamaha made in Japan SG 1802 gold top with P90s. Reviews are great. Very cool, Ben. I love it when people are getting new stuff. Makes me feel happy, warm inside. I think I live vicariously through you guys when I don't buy stuff. It keeps me going. Steven says, I paid $5 for my first Yamaha. The person I bought it from had strung it with electric strings. It was a classical guitar. I spent another $5 on strings and played it for years. Gave it to a friend. Money well spent on that one. Dan says it seems interesting. I think he's referring to the Friedman product, but it's beyond me at this point why he would limit the IRs that you can load. Is only 3, should have had at least 10 IRs that are loadable. Yes, Dan, I understand what you're saying, but from what I understand, yeah, you can load 3 at a time, but through the software, you can switch those IRs, right? So generally, like for example, you can take it to a gig and load your 3 favorite IRs, right? And then when you come back or whatever, you can hook it up to your laptop or your computer and switch them out. So yeah, 3 is only 3. I would agree it would be good to have a little bit more, but generally, you know, I think you can generally limit and pick your 3 favorites, right? Marcel says, Tony, are your live shows going to be all in the AM in the future, or are you going to switch with PM? I don't know yet, Marcel. I'm going to see. I don't mind. It seems like we have more pull. There's more people that join in on the morning shows, but it seems like there's new people that are joining in on the evening shows. So I might keep it going for a little while. I'm not really 100% sure. Again, if people are new here and trying to chat and see that they can't chat, you have to be subscribed. I keep mentioning that, hoping that everybody understands. So if you're watching and you want to chat, or you're watching a rerun and you're not already subscribed, then subscribe to the channel so next time we go live, you can actually chat and you're not missing out. It takes, if you subscribe right now, it takes maybe 2 minutes before you can actually chat or something like that. So you can do it right now and then jump right in. Should we look at the poll question results? Let's jump to the poll question right now and see what the hell we're doing there. Give me a sec. I'm going to get to the results here. So if you guys don't know where it is, I keep mentioning it's under the community tab. I think most of you do know. We had 296 votes on the question. And the question, I'll repeat once again, is if you were not a guitarist already, if you were not already playing guitar, what other instruments would you choose to play? and I only could put 5. Obviously, there's way more instruments than just these 5, but I put bass, drums, keyboards, vocals, and saxophone. And I'm not at all surprised that the second most popular instrument after guitar is drums. I think everybody would like to be a drummer or enjoys hitting the drums. As a matter of fact, I actually took drum lessons, like serious drum lessons, for 2 years. After, of course, playing guitar. I only stopped playing drums because I felt like it was interfering, and it's like you got to choose one. And of course, my first love is guitar, so I stick with guitar. But I did think that learning how to play the drums and taking drum lessons not only helped reading, because I was reading the drum not the tabs, but the drum music sheets. It also helped me lock into the rhythm when playing with other musicians. So when I play with a band, I'm very aware of what the drummer's doing because I studied for 2 years. So I definitely think learning another instrument, regardless of what it is, definitely can help you as a guitarist. I feel like that's part of the reason why universities like MIT, not MIT, GIT, GIT, Berkeley, these universities that have really well-known and very good quality music programs encourage you to learn a secondary instrument. So drums came in as the second choice at 33%, followed by keyboards. I'm surprised because I figured maybe the secondary choice after drums might have been bass, but it's actually keyboards. And I'm not surprised there either because I enjoy playing keyboards. That's something I've always really wanted to learn. I would love to be able to play piano. I have a keyboard there in the back, right there, that I noodle on every once in a while when I get the urge. And I would definitely love to take keyboard lessons at some point in my life, maybe when I get older and retire, learn how to play the piano. So keyboards after drums. After that, we have bass. 25% of you wanted to play bass. I think generally most guitarists dabble in bass. I think if you play guitar, you probably at one point or another played bass or probably play bass as a secondary instrument. Only 10% of you say vocals. I'm surprised because we know that the singers get all the chicks. So how come only 10% of you want to sing? I guess it's the being the front man thing is a little bit of a challenge, right? It's a little scary at times. And then 6% of you said saxophone or other horn instruments. I think sax is cool. Would be fun to play sax. And then we had a couple of comments. Some of you said, I actually proficiently play everything listed and can even sing, says Derry Perry. And Shane says, bass players can always find gigs. I think the two main type of musicians that are always in demand are drummers and keyboard players. It's always hard to get a drummer and it's always hard to get a keyboard player. Gene Cali says, father, uncles, cousins, and brothers all played guitar. I played drums and percussions forever. Took up piano and a harmonica to learn ear training. Now I have a 12.5 guitars and play Delta blues, no horns, no vocals. Interesting. And some of you said none of the above. Not even guitar. Very cool. The reason I asked that question is because, I do think that most musicians like to learn other instruments. And I feel that definitely helps overall. It kind of raises your musicianship IQ if you appreciate other instruments and learn how to listen to other things. So other than the Friedman unit that came out, there hasn't been that many interesting products. It's been kind of quiet. I don't know if people are waiting for Christmas to do their big launches, but there hasn't been that many wow products that I've seen in the last little while. it's a little bit sad that I don't see too many things. I was eyeballing a couple of statistics earlier on just to see like what's happening within the market, and it's interesting because at one point Fender was claiming that 54% of all new guitars sold in the United States were being purchased by first time guitar players, and I think that stat came out during the pandemic, which is not surprising. I think a lot of people had time on their hands and were basically looking for something to do. The interesting thing is that in 2019, the average price for an electric guitar was only $758. And I feel like that's no longer the case. Like it's really inching closer to the $1,000 mark now. So that's a stat that is moving in the wrong direction, I would say, but I'm not surprised. And one of the very cool stats that I actually discovered was that the person that broke the record for playing the guitar for the longest time ended up playing his guitar for 114 consecutive hours and 6 minutes. 114 hours playing guitar straight. I would have a hard time just staying awake for that amount of time, never mind playing for that amount of time. But that's pretty cool. And the other statistic that I found quite believable is that 75% of most guitar players out there are self-taught. Doesn't surprise me, you know. I think a lot of people will pick up the guitar because of a big brother that's playing, or a cousin, or a dad, or whatever, and learn how to play. Somebody might show them how to play the guitar and whatnot, and keep them going that way. So pretty cool. Very interesting statistics. I like to share those statistics with you guys. If you like them and find them interesting, give me a thumbs up. All right, guys, I think we're gonna wrap it up for today. We've been talking for about an hour of interesting chit chat. Keep your eyes open for the follow-up video on my Telecaster build, because I'm really excited about that. Again, if you enjoy the how-to videos, let me know. I will jump back into gear reviews and stuff like that as you know, as I move forward. I just want to get that build done, because when I'm in the middle of a project guitar build, I want to finish it. I hate making things just linger. The longest part was actually the painting of the guitar neck and applying the decal on the neck and finishing that up. But now that that's done and the guitar is ready to set up, we'll be moving quickly through that and going back to review some cool gear that I have lined up for you guys as well. If you have any suggestions of any items that you would like me to look at in terms of gear reviews, or anything specific you'd like to see, any of the guitars that I have in circulation and whatnot, let me know. I would love to do specific requests if you have anything that you want to see. And that is it. I think we're done for today. I'm going to leave you to enjoy this beautiful Sunday morning with that. And get outside and do a little bit of, you know, absorbing all of that vitamin D that you're going to be getting. Because soon, man, we're going to be in winter, and it's going to be sucky, and it's going to be not very good for most of us here in the northern hemisphere, and we're going to be hibernating again. So please take the time to get outside and do a little bit of you know, just decompressing, I like to call it. I'm gonna be doing that, but later on today I'm gonna be doing the setup on my workbench for you guys. All right, that's it for now, guys. I don't have anything else to say. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. We're gonna be back next week, next Sunday. And we're gonna be doing another hour's worth or so of chit chat, and then we'll take it from there. I don't know if it's gonna be in the AM or PM, guys. I'll let you know. I'll post it ahead of time. Either way, I hope you guys could tune in. All right, that's it. If you guys can squeeze out a little thumbs up before you leave, I would appreciate it. If not, it's all good. And we'll talk again real soon. Have a great rest of the weekend and a fantastic week. See you all next time.